So again, thank you. I met you just here at Tao Food a few weeks ago, and I'm very interested in a meeting like people from this local community, Tao Food, Larry Hill, just to create connection and share resources. And you happen to be a small business owner, and if I understand well, you're mostly dealing with narcissistic relationship and people who are involved in those. Am I correct?
You are correct. Yes.
So I'm going to start with my first question, and if you feel like you want to answer, not answer, or answer differently, it's up to you. So my first one would be, what is a narcissistic and a narcissistic relationship? How would you define that?
Okay, well, first I want to say thanks for having me. I think this is kind of a fun opportunity. And my business Energetic Spirit has a program within it that is called Sovereign Spirit. And here it is for those who want to heal or navigate a narcissistic relationship. And so a narcissist, you can actually be like clinically diagnosed, and I'm not someone that does that, but there's a spectrum of which narcissistic characteristics lie. And, some people are going to have more than another person depending upon their past. So one would be like they live in a reality that supports their sense of self or ego. So a lot of things that they do support who they want to represent themselves as. And another big one is having like a grandiose sense of self. And a lot of those behaviors can be pretty toxic, like manipulation and stonewalling and gaslighting. And so that's what I work with, people who want to heal from engaging with those behaviors.
Okay, very cool. And Mel, how did you get the idea of starting this group or this because you want to start a business? How did you wake up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna start a group to work with people who are recovering from that? I mean, how did that happen?
I know sometimes I wish I woke up with that idea, like this is what I should be doing. It was a long path. So the venture actually started since my memory could form. I've been raised by narcissistic parents, and that took a lot of I endured a lot of trauma and abuse trying to figure out what my sense of self was, because a lot of times when you're engaging with that, they can't they can't embrace or encourage or acknowledge your way of being. And so, because I was so tired of feeling like guilty for everything that I did, like ruminating over everything, all of the pains that go with engaging with those, I just decided after one of very many romantic relationships that I was done and no more. I found a way to have that happy, healthy connection in my relationships, both with my parents and then also in the romantic relationships as well. So it was a long time coming.
That's so interesting. So you are really bringing a new angle. Like I would never have thought about seeing that through the angle of a relationship with your parents. I would always think narcissistic from a partner, but not from your parents. That's an interesting angle. Mel, how do you think that applies across genders? Do you think there are more men than women that, or are they equally narcissistic? What's your take on that?
So in my community, I have found far more women are the one that are doing the seeking for the healing, but men are as well. And it's far less talked about with men who are enduring the narcissistic behaviors um, from their point. I'm still digging into how to reach the male audience more, but it is predominantly women who are seeking.
Interesting. And do you think is it like a recent phenomenon, or has narcissism always been there? Let me ask you differently. Do you think the way we live today generates more narcissism compared to one or two generations ago?
I I don't know about it generating, but I do know that there's so much more awareness around like naming that kind of behavior. And simply because now we have these behaviors named, we know what we're dealing with instead of kind of talking around different things. It's way more easier to nail down what it is that you're dealing with.
Okay. And so with your group, your business, how do you ideally want to connect, via which channel, medium do you want to connect with those people who could potentially benefit from your service?
So the best way, I mean, is to email me. I think that's and then I can give you the link to book a call with me.
First, yeah, yeah.
We also have my Facebook community, which I can put the link in the comments as well. And there we have a community of those who are looking to heal and navigate and even figure out if they are dealing with narcissistic traits. So that's the best way to come into my world and see what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, where do you see your business in 5 years? Where would you want to be with your business?
So everything really is done virtually, except I've gotten to know some other small business owners in Minneapolis, and I would like to see that relationship grow. So I will be doing my course and book launch at the Eye of Minneapolis on July 23rd. So the course is live. I can put the link in there too, but the course is live to sign up for. And then that's my first book launch as well. And I would like to see those relationships grow more in the Minneapolis area, but everything else is predominantly can be done virtually. So that's my goal for the next 2 years, is to build those relationships in Minneapolis.
Nice. So is that supposed to be like a full-time job? You'll be working ideally 40 hours a week, speaking with people who are telling you how bad their relationship is. Is that the ultimate goal? Or maybe train trainers or organize retreats or
Definitely organizing retreats. I've already had that in my mind of like organizing retreats, going abroad in somewhere awesome on a beach, of course, but having retreats where you can have that community, because I didn't have that community when I was healing through all of those different behaviors. And I just want to provide that for others because I really wished I had that. So yes, yes to retreats.
okay. I don't have many more questions. Maybe just things that come to mind are typically, I don't know, are narcissistic persons at this typically also showing signs of other type of abusive behaviors, like maybe, or does it go with alcoholism? Does it go with violence? Does it go with other stuff at the same time? Or is it a very separated trait that shows up and nothing else?
No, I wish it were that easy. It is never, no, not at all. It is very much intertwined with many other dysfunctional behaviors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it can also be intertwined with other personality disorders, which makes it even more complex and complicated to navigate. Yes,
So the goal is not at all to deal with the narcissistic person and help him get better. Is to deal with the victim, right?
yes. So a lot of times you lose your identity in accommodating those narcissistic behaviors, because the narcissist, like I had said, they will do anything to protect their ego and who they are, who they want to represent themselves as, and that comes at a cost to the people in their lives. And so it's about, the name is Sovereign Spirit, so that you are reclaiming yourself, your spirituality, your physical self, your mental, your emotional, and you then are like clear. You're not having to deal with wondering and like second guessing, are you doing what they're saying? Because a lot of times there's gaslighting, and gaslighting, for those of you who don't know, is when you're told your reality is one way and it really isn't. you can start to believe those things, and then you are slowly intertwined with that. And it's about unraveling and untangling from them, and then ultimately deciding, like, what do you want in your life?
So it seems to me like, well, your business, your group will be getting more and more and more work in the future, because I mean, tell me if you agree with that. It seems to me that social media is a narcissistic manufacturing tool. Social media is, I mean, people are projecting social media what they want to, the way they want to show up to the people, not the way they are. People are always at the beach or looking nice or with amazing companies, which is not their real life, but that's how they want to project themselves. So they keep doing that and that and that. It seems to me like it's very close to a narcissistic type of behavior. Would you agree? Or
Yes, so that's preserving a sense of self, like preserving, it's the ego that's preserving a way of showing up in the world, right? So, yes, I would say that would be a narcissistic trait. It's pretty rare that you will see people like pouring out exactly what has happened in their life and also show like both sides of it, which, because that's the also very complex part, is most things are paradoxical, right? It's like most things have both in them. And I don't think as a society or social media really acknowledges that.
okay. Anything else you want to add? I will for sure post information for people to join you somewhere under this. I'm sure you will do the same. Anything else you want to add? By the way, I'm going to show people where I am so they know I am at food, local place here. But anything else you want to add?
Just reach out to me if you have any questions about what I do. I have other resources to lead you to as well, and I would love to see fellow Minneapolis at the Eye of Minneapolis if they're interested.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you for sharing that fresh information. I hope I wish you lots of success, and I'm glad you are starting that type of a project, very much needed, I'm sure. Thank you, Mel. Take care.
Thanks, Miguel. Bye-bye.